You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Small correction, that's not important. Gonna do it anyway. I like chocolate and peanut butter. I don't like chocolate and oranges. That's gross. Chocolate and most berries, good. That's what I said. Chocolate and mint, no. And I agree with Josh. Mint is for toothpaste and gum, peppermint. That's about it. But I do like ginger, but not like those red ginger candies, but I do like to eat sushi and pile on the ginger. That's the thing. It's perfect because my friend and I, we go out for sushi. He likes the wasabi. I like the ginger. We get a double helping of both. We're perfectly fine. Okay, bye.
Hello, Internet.
Hello.
Hello.
Dave's not here. He's busy.
He's got important research. I get it. So, hey, we had a quick turnaround. So we're gonna do some more calls because I like it.
Yes. Cuban B.
Cuban B.
Thank you, terrified Michelle. Oh my God, I hate pickled ginger. I love sushi. I love wasabi. Holy fuck, do I hate pickled ginger?
Pickle.
Really?
Are you saying pickled ginger or pickled?
Pickled.
Oh. I guess you could,
I love ginger.
I guess you could
Do not like
pickle
pickled
just
ginger.
about anything, right?
Yeah.
So
Can you pickle me, Greg? Ready for another one?
Yes.
Hi, TADPOG. I'm listening to you guys talk about Indiana Jones. I think you're playing the game.
You're listening to us talk about Indiana Jones.
Later. I'm not really certain what's going on yet. But Dave talked about how he already told Henry about Nazis and the Nazi flag. But if he's learning about flags and you live in a bright red state, not as bright as Texas, but still, did you teach him about the rebel flag? That's all I have to say about that.
Michelle and her
then
obsession with the rebel
I
flag.
love anthropology. I took multiple anthropology classes in college. I took one in high school. It's amazing. I don't know. I just love learning about the different cultures and the different medicines and the different things that people go through. They're amazing to learn about. I just love it. And then for Tyler, you guys either need to become a movie podcast or just have a day once a month where you watch all the movies that Tyler hasn't seen. And I don't mean like every single one because there's a lot that aren't necessary, but all the ones that he needs to see. Like
We're kind of doing that now.
all the Star Wars, all the
She's
Indiana
prophetic.
Jones, E.T., the Goonies, stuff like that. It's a requirement for life. I feel like your life is lacking a little bit. So,
Your life is lacking a little bit.
I don't know what
you don't
you're
know
doing.
my life. My life's amazing.
I don't want your life.
Don't want your life.
Oh, wait, you weren't allowed to go to the movies all the time, and then your family would walk out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I get that. But since you moved out of your parents' house, I don't know what's stopping you. Besides having, 6 kids.
That's the one.
Okay.
Well, we tend to do this now where we're watching a game or watching a movie that's associated with a game that we're playing. That list is going to dwindle off in the next several weeks, but
Months, probably.
Yeah. But there have been plenty of times when we've just done like a Patreon on a specific movie that has come up in conversation. And, we've got plans for something similar to that coming up maybe for the Patreon. So
Yeah.
it's a long boy. We're not even gonna say it out loud yet. But stay tuned to patreon.com/tadpog. Tadpog?
TADPOG? That's the London version.
Tyler and Dave fuck old
Fuck old
games.
girls. No, games.
Yes, I did teach Henry about the Confederate flag. To answer your question.
No one really explained it to me growing up, but I did associate it with Looney Tunes shirts because people who wore Looney Tunes shirts also wore things that had the rebel flag on it. So
It took me a while to get the to know the meaning and the what it stands for really.
yeah, I'd say I was
for
far
the
into
longest
adulthood.
time
Yeah.
because I associated with the General Lee on the Dukes of Hazzard, and those guys were great. They were friends with everyone.
Yep.
So I was like, well, it can't be that bad. And then I found out, well, they're probably just clueless. Bo and Luke Duke were probably just clueless.
Yep.
Despite being very nice people. So, anyway, here we go.
His name was Luke Duke.
Luke Duke.
That's terrible.
Bo and Luke Duke.
Bo Duke. Okay. Luke Duke. That sucks.
Lucas Duke.
Lucas
Better.
Dukas.
Lucas Dukas. Another
Julia Gulia.
Julia Gulia. Another call from our friend Michelle, which will turn out to be also oddly prophetic.
Okay, guys, you're talking about that game with all the characters from different things like Scooby and LeBron James and Daphne and Arya Stark.
Multiverses.
And you don't know Steven Universe, and it's amazing, and you should watch it. And I'm not sure if you hate it,
My kids tell me it is.
but it's amazing, and you should watch it. That, by the way, is when you guys talk about the fusion dance, I literally thought you were talking about Steven Universe because they have a fusion dance in there, and apparently you were talking about something entirely different. Okay, bye.
Multiverses is coming back. We talked about that last week. They're releasing it again, and this time, I guess, for good. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
But Michelle was once again bringing up something that is from 2022 that is referring to current events. Guys, we got a lot of terrified Michelle calls.
Okay.
Right in a row.
Okay.
We know. We assume.
Most of them are fairly short.
Also, I thought it was funny that she said, "You guys should watch Steven Universe. I don't know what the fusion dance is from." That's what I heard.
Yeah. Well, I'll trade you, Michelle.
Nothing against Steven Universe. It just hasn't been a thing that ever popped on Henry's radar. So
It never
It's
came
sort of
up
on my
our
list.
house
Same
either.
with Gravity Falls. Like I hear
dude,
both
Gravity.
amazing shows.
Henry got into Gravity Falls, and I was really glad that he did.
Yeah,
because
Colin
it's like,
did
yeah, I
too.
want to watch all of this with you.
Tanya said she loved it. She
Oh,
loved
that's
watching
awesome.
that show with him.
Yeah.
Said it was hilarious. So, speaking of Steven Universe,
Okay, a little more info on Steven Universe. Steven Universe is a little chunky kid who was raised by his dad. His mom died, and she's from another world where everybody is a gemstone. Her
like the Righteous Gemstones,
Baby Billy.
it's Baby Billy. Baby Billy is Steven Universe's mom. That's weird.
Who wants to suck an old man's
Rose,
dick? More ejaculate.
And now
Well,
he
chocolate.
has her powers. And I think he has her gem in his belly button too.
Which is gross.
Or it came from her. And then there are other gemstones that have come from there. Peridot.
The gemstone of my birth month.
Is that right?
My birthstone is peridot.
I don't know. mine.
Peridot is actually, I think, the correct pronunciation. But
Is it?
I could be wrong.
I would just assume it was like French or something.
But my dad is a jeweler,
Mm-hmm.
and he always says peridot.
Then I would say Peridot.
So I'd say peridot.
Also, long-time listeners of the show will know how I feel about belly buttons in cartoons. So, like,
Barry Burton's?
Barry Burton's
Okay.
on cartoon characters. So, like, the fact that he's got a
just thought about that joke
gemstone.
yesterday again and laughed in my car by myself for a long time.
Just the fact that I don't know. That doesn't. I don't like the gemstone in the belly button. Ian, you said gross.
It's
and
gross.
That's like,
It's just gross. Belly buttons freak me out in general,
yeah.
but
Where did
not on. I don't know why.
That used to be your mouth.
Yeah. See, you're adding to the many reasons.
And it's still on you.
Yeah, it does nothing except just get dirty and you have to clean
Yeah,
it
does.
out.
Yeah.
I like belly
fire
buttons on
hazard.
women though.
Yeah, me too.
That's the I dream of Jeannie syndrome.
Ooh. That was a nice belly button. That was
you couldn't see it.
scandalous.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I'm gonna do be like, oh.
That was scandalous.
It's like that's a
back in
Tara
the
Reid
day.
nip slip back in the day.
Yes,
But
it
better.
was.
But like 10 times better.
Ooh, made it almost to April without saying Tara Reid nip slip.
Almost.
Bingo cards, everybody.
I included it in the show notes a few weeks ago. Just because.
Good. Here we go. This call about belly buttons and paradox continues.
That they call her Paradox. Sapphire, Ruby, just different ones. I don't remember.
Garnet?
all
You
of
got
them.
Garnet?
There's-
Got a tourmaline in there?
Yeah, I don't remember all of them, but they're cool, and they save the day, and there's lesbians.
There's
but
lesbians.
not X-rated lesbians. So Abby and I love it.
Do you love it because there's lesbians or because they're not X-rated lesbians? Inquiring minds want to know.
If you need your lesbians to be X-rated, sorry, it is a cartoon,
I have seen X-rated cartoons. I'm just saying.
and it is safe for kids.
Girl, same.
So they couldn't put the X-rated lesbians in there. I'm sure you don't need the X-rated lesbians. I'm just saying. Okay, I love you. Bye.
I was hoping she'd say X-rated lesbians one more time, and now I'm left wanting.
X-rated lesbians.
Thank you,
Does it
Dad.
help when I say it?
It's close, but not.
I know it's not the same.
Draw to the
the
bush for
same,
him.
but it gets close.
I mean, I've seen the animation style of Steven Universe, and I don't think I would want X-rated lesbians in that style.
I don't want to watch it anyway, much less with. I don't think
Adventure
that
Time,
X-rated lesbians would. See, there you go.
Look at those noodly armed lesbians go at it. Look at those.
Band name,
Look at
newly
those
armed lesbians.
square-bodied lesbians trying to scissor.
Look like two
Sounds like
used car lots
like
went
two
to war.
Lincoln logs crashing together.
I like it when their mouths are little circles and their tongues flip out.
They do too. The X-rated lesbians
Right, of course.
of the Adventure Time universe is what I'm referring
Yes.
to. Next call is going to be a surprise who this is from, I'm
Okay.
sure.
Okay, so let me explain Undercover Boss. They do makeup and either a wig or hair change or whatever. They usually haven't been on the floor of whatever shop they've been on in or whatever company down in a while, so they're not as good at that anymore. So a lot of the people are like, the fuck? But definitely there are times where the people have recognized that person and they will just come clean with them and explain what they're doing and then go from there. So yeah.
So this was in regards to, I guess, a conversation we were having about Undercover Boss.
I was about to say, because I followed that in no way, shape, or form. I
Same.
could not pick up that noodle anywhere.
The only place I saw that I can remember seeing, the only one I ever remember seeing is the Kylo Ren Undercover Boss from Saturday Night Live.
Live.
really good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one. But I mean, it's also one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I've never watched Undercover Boss. So like, I don't know if they go to big, I don't know if they're like the CEOs of like big companies.
Well,
or,
they did one for Dippin' Dots.
Okay.
Here in Paducah.
I mean-
and I did watch that one.
I don't know how big Dippin' Dots is, but like if I worked at Dippin' Dots, I feel like I might not even know. There's been so many places that I've worked where it's like, I don't know what the
Yeah.
CEO looks like. I have
Yeah.
no idea. It's just a name that I see sometimes like on checks, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes that, maybe not.
Some people,
Sometimes I don't even look at the checks. I'm like, yep, money's right. Okay.
yeah. Like in a factory setting like that, you're just kind of head down, get your job done. Maybe you're not paying full attention to who's there. And I don't think the Dippin' Dots folks recognize the guy. right away.
It's almost like they would do better just like without a wig and makeup, because it like feel like that make it would draw more attention
is that
to me.
guy
Like,
wearing a
that,
costume?
Yeah, that dude's
Yeah.
incognito. What's going on?
When Gordon Ramsay in the Kitchen Nightmares, where he dresses up and it looks really weird.
Oh, it's bad. It's real bad. They'll have him, and it's always some like, you know, he looks like some like rancher from England in the 18th century wearing a big mustache and a big, you know, racer hat and a tweed vest or something.
Yeah, weird glasses.
Something that's completely out of the ordinary that like Dave says just draws more attention to you.
Tony Clifton cutting cardboard today.
So your boss mean to you? He should be ugly.
Are you the CEO of our company?
We have to keep that picture on your wall.
What company? I just work here the same as you.
I did see the one like Rallies and Checkers. I saw there was one for that. That's that. But that's the only company I've ever seen that I recognize.
Like the CEO of each company fought each other.
for whichever was the shittiest fast food chain.
No, my fries give more diarrhea. No, my fries give more diarrhea. They're the same. They both give diarrhea.
In equal amounts.
Yeah. Now children will have the diarrhea.
Rallies loves you both the same.
Man, there was a Rallies in Lexington, and I loved it.
Used to go there all the time.
Loved it.
Yep.
Gave me diarrhea every time. Still went there, though. Still went there. Love those fries that give diarrhea.
I was surprised what the show Love that had Britta in it from Community. It was on Netflix for a minute. It was a pretty good show, but like they went to Rallies to have one of their like meet cute after breakfast moments, and I was like, I guess that's the only place they could really get the license to, because why are they going to Rallies in California? Okay, sure.
For the diarrhea.
Yeah.
Strictly for the diarrhea.
It's good for the sex stuff
It's
later.
Lube that eats at you a little bit.
Gross.
Gotta make ends meet, man. Times are tough.
Price of lube going through the fucking roof.
Rally's fries cost way less than a tub of lube. Lard in, lard out, baby. Lard back in.
Damn it. Please, I'm begging you. Stop.
And,
You got
and
it.
out and in and out and in.
Now in and out. They're in California. You think they go there?
Yeah, exactly.
People say it's overrated. I like it.
I mean, if it's
I
good
do
enough
too.
for
I thought it
Steven
was great.
Spielberg after the Oscars, it's good enough for me.
My curly picky father fucking loved the shit out of it. So that's a ringing endorsement.
Your what?
My very picky father loved In
Oh,
and
I
Out.
heard another word in there.
I heard curly.
Yeah, curly. My curly picky father. I'm like, what? Wait. Now the context is all ruined.
Oh,
I don't
curly
know.
Randy
Oh God, Curly Randy.
had his knee replaced and he's fucking miserable. Holy shit. I hear about it for 20 minutes a day.
Like to drive into work, he calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you about my knee.
Yeah, you got a minute?
Hey, I don't
Not
know if
really.
I
I'll just real
mentioned it.
quick. Just real quick. I'm in a lot of pain.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh. I know. I'm sorry.
Has anything changed, better or worse?
I had to go to
nope.
physical
I'm just in
therapy.
a lot of pain still. Okay.
Okay.
Got any jokes?
My life. Okay. I'm sorry.
Shit.
Speaking of stomach disorders,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Guys, you're talking about lactose intolerance. I don't remember the first time I've heard of it. I'm sure it was like in high school at least. But you do know that people are allergic to milk and not lactose intolerant. Or they're
What?
lactose allergic but not lactose intolerant. Like,
Fuck.
people who are lactose intolerant, obviously we know they get gassy and whatever. People who are lactose allergic, they usually have respiratory problems. Abby is allergic to milk. We don't know what part of milk, but we know it's not lactose because she's still allergic to the lactase milk. So she's they're probably allergic to whey or casein, but we haven't tested to find out which one.
Damn, that sucks.
That does suck.
A PSA, that's all. He's saying he definitely wanted that at 6:54 in the morning, my time, which is 9.
Gotta do the drywall at the McDonald's.
8:54 in the morning, your time.
But I say they're dead, Michelle. You gotta rush there or anything. Take your time.
Maybe they're the vagrant dead.
Oh, just loitering around their corpse. Well, I mean, it's nice in here. I didn't really think it should leave.
I heard there was a hawk in the parking lot. Let me check that.
Heard something about a gunslinger and a hawk once, and I thought, well, while I'm here.
Is this where that pussy ants are?
You get some of them pussy ants. Where you get them?
Surprised I didn't read that in the Gunslinger.
I'm surprised too.
Okay. So you're talking about milk, obviously, since like, I don't know, 3 minutes ago I talked
No
about
idea.
milk
I can't parse this one.
on the answering service. But I hate milk. It's disgusting.
Milk.
Cheese is fantastic. Milk is disgusting. I tried whole milk once because I thought maybe that was the problem.
Whole milk?
Yeah.
And, I mean, it does taste a little better, but not good
think
enough
she
to
said
drink
oat.
all the time. Works
Oat
great in
milk?
a smoothie.
Oat milk.
That's good.
Whole milk.
She said whole milk?
Yes.
I thought she said oat milk.
I've never had
said
oat
whole
milk. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Whole
You
milk's
can milk
okay.
anything with nipples.
Fantastic. And I don't really like milk-based smoothies. So, definitely, like, whole milk-based smoothies are way better than regular milk-based smoothies. I will never drink something that has food in it once. So, like,
What? What'd she say? I'll never drink.
Something that had food in it once.
Okay.
I don't drink the broth at the end of soup. I don't drink the milk
Okay.
at the end of cereal.
Well, yeah, you don't
I don't
like
even
milk.
eat cereal because I don't like it most of the time. My cereal is 1 spoonful of Nutella, a quarter cup
That's just Nutella.
steel cut oats with fruit on top of it.
Okay.
That's my cereal. Because otherwise, I don't like cereal. I can eat Cheerios as long as they're plain Cheerios, not Honey Nut, and not
That is
milk.
cereal.
But anything when I was a kid or even now with soup, I'll take plain broth, but I don't like something that once had food in it because there's floaties. And even though I know how to put the floaties in there,
Yeah.
something about it, when it gets into I just am like, no, it's just like, oh. I mean, I know that I put them in there. It's like drinking, my brother drank cactus juice or something, and it was clear beverage with like floaties of cactus. And I
What about
was
boba?
Like,
About to say boba tea right out.
Yeah.
they're
Oof.
supposed to be in there. I don't like boba.
There we go. There we go.
Boba tea creeps me out.
Boba tea.
Yeah.
Boba tea? Where? Boba tea just creeps me the fuck out. I don't like the way it looks in the cup.
Yeah.
So to that extent, I can kind of relate to what Michelle is saying. I don't fully understand the sort of like aversion to drinking something that once had food in it.
Right.
Because
Oh, yeah,
like if
I
love
used to as a
cereal
kid. I
milk.
used to hate
Oh,
that
man.
shit.
well,
Wouldn't
it's-
drink the broth. Wouldn't drink the
yeah.
milk.
And when I make ramen, it's got juice in it, and I'm
got
not
the
going to
juice.
let that juice go to waste. That's the best part. Just because it once had noodles in it, I can't let that go. But no judgy.
What about olives? What about pickles? Because that's essentially like pickles are just
Pickle juice is supposed to be really good for you.
Fine.
I'll reuse pickle juice and just put like peppers and shit from a garden in it. Or whatever I have to do.
sure. I'm curious though if like Michelle doesn't eat pickles because it's been brining in a
That's true.
soup. Essentially,
true.
like what, like where's the line?
Well, I
You
think
swallow
she's
cum,
saying
that's got stuff floating in it, that liquid.
Like, yeah, it
Yeah.
has sperm, like
Yeah.
lots of it,
Exactly.
in each
billions
load,
of them. I wonder.
like mayo in a
I think
sandwich.
she eats. She's saying she eats stuff that is the floating stuff, but won't drink the liquid that the stuff was floating in.
Oh, that is true. So then the pickles thing doesn't make sense. What I'm saying, I feel like you've answered the question because she
Right.
probably eats pickles,
Just
but
won't
doesn't
drink the pickle
doesn't drink the
juice.
juice.
Yeah.
which is a big hit at my house. Tanya and Gage.
I've never
Cole.
tried it.
She eats the sperm, but she
Love.
won't. She's born with the liquid.
Yeah, what else is in there? Was that like phlegm or
Semen.
something? What is like?
It's like snot.
Yeah.
I guess.
What's the sperm? I don't know what the sperm cells are in. It's not just. They're in something,
is it
right?
Mucus.
Yeah,
Well, it's-
maybe.
it's-
What's the void in cum? What is the
Hey Siri, what's in
Interspace.
cum? She took a long time to answer that one, and
she got so turned on.
10 cities with the most income inequality.
Yeah, no. She knew what you asked.
Yeah.
She just didn't want to
Didn't
give
want-
you the answer.
Wouldn't dignify a response.
No, I'm better.
I don't
than
blame
this.
her. She's like, this dumb motherfucker doesn't know what's in cum.
What are you doing?
He's been
Dave?
making it for years.
Fucker doesn't even know what's in it.
I don't know. Fucking water and mushrooms.
All right, this call continues.
And mine is just liquid.
Is
That's
it
all
not?
that's in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I'm
the
confused.
semen,
Semen's
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I got you.
sperm
fixed.
is in the semen.
Right. It's
The
okay.
liquid part, the clear stuff
Yeah.
that comes
The
out,
juice.
the juice, if you will.
Yeah. So, no pulp for you.
No pulp. No pulp. You're right.
On we go.
If there's fruit floating in your drink, that I might be able to stand. Except for cactus, because I think that's a fruit. But otherwise, just there's something about it. I just can't. People who drink after their children and they have floaties in their drink, I'm like,
Oh no, God, Jesus
No,
Christ,
in
no!
no
Don't drink a
universe.
thing with floaties in it. It's
I don't
that's
drink after.
backwash.
I don't eat or drink after children anyway. I never have. Like
I do.
I do not.
Just
I
my
know you
own.
do. I
Just
know
my
you're
own.
the family garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Finishing off the leftovers.
The fluid is made mostly of water, plasma, and mucus.
Plasma.
I know, like vaginal
That's valuable.
vaginal lubrication is plasma, like blood plasma.
Fuck, man.
I'm just letting a fortune go.
No
go to
shit.
waste.
I wouldn't say we're wasting it.
Hey, some of us are.
don't. Just, do a lot of things. If a kid doesn't want to eat their burrito, I'll eat their burrito. I've let a kid throw up in my hand. Not a stranger kid, my godson.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just go to the bathroom, wash, throw
Are you
away,
sure
throw
that's
up, wash
fine?
my hands. Fine. But eating, drinking something with floaties in it,
No.
or eating throw up, of course I'm not going to do that
No.
stuff. Disgusting, and I know you all were thinking that. And if you weren't thinking that, it's one of those things that I do where I try to get to something before you think about it, and then it just turns the conversation in a whole other direction. But anyway, address that issue. Moved on. Milk is gross. Floaties are
I lost it at the end there.
Yeah, I don't. I
Some
did too.
floaties.
So yeah, floaties in a fuck backwash. That's backwash. You don't want that shit.
No,
Floaties in
no.
something you're drinking. Fuck that. That doesn't belong there.
No.
The broth in a soup belongs there. You know what I mean? It's like it's not soup unless
Yeah,
the
it's
broth is
soup.
there. It's just
It's part of this.
yeah.
But both of you
The
guys
thing that
drink
makes
milk?
it not a stew,
Oh,
Is the
right.
liquid
Is
in
that
it.
the case? I really don't know.
right? The liquid in soup is what makes it not a stew,
Yeah,
or
what-
the amount of
What
liquid.
constitutes a stew?
I'd say the kind, because the viscosity and what it is. So like a stew will have a thickened like milk in it as opposed to a broth.
right.
So I would say a stew is something that is. I'd say a stew is something that is thickened.
So what about clam
Rather.
chowder? A stew?
Chowder.
What's the difference between chowder and stew?
Don't know.
Okay.
It's chowder. It's chowder.
But I know
You're
there are
saying it
several
wrong.
different types of chowder. So chowder
Chowder.
is its own thing, but I could not tell you why. What's special about it?
So they just
So-
want us to think it's special?
Let me ask you this: if it's about viscosity, now if Tanya makes a nice hearty vegetable soup,
Mm-hmm.
and it is very much a soup, when we put it in the refrigerator when we're finished, it thickens up.
Right.
That's just the fat that's in it congealing. So I
Does
wouldn't
it
say
does it so it doesn't become a stew?
no, because that's not the intended. Because you heat it back up to eat it, it's going to loosen back up. That's not the intent.
True. It's thicker, but it's still not as thick as stew.
Yeah, like that. You intentionally thicken for consumption.
Got
So
it.
then
got it. Like
then I
from
would
the
say
outset,
that.
it is thick.
Yeah.
Thick.
Yeah.
With all the fix. And
Like I would say chili is a stew.
in the chowder.
In the chowder. Chowder is something different.
Spaghetti? Spaghetti a stew?
Yeah.
I guess it is.
Yeah.
Depending on how
The
you
way
make
my mom
it,
does
though.
it.
See, like I don't make it that way. I like put plain noodles down and then sploop sauce on top of that, and I'll make it all together. I don't like that.
You don't like it mixed all
I
together?
don't like that at all.
I like it that way.
like it.
I like it both ways, but I like it mixed.
I bought a brand new pasta yesterday.
A what?
A brand new pasta.
You've made a brand new pasta?
I bought a brand new pasta. Like I saw it on TikTok where a guy was like, you know, if I'm looking for taste, sauce absorption, and toothability, all the other pastas usually have 2 of those 3.
This one has what? Cum?
So this one has come. Yes, he engineered
Plasma.
a shape,
The secret's
a new shape of pasta called cascatelli. And I bought a box of it. I haven't eaten it yet.
Cascatelli. You gotta say it the right
Cascatelli.
way.
Yeah, he bought a box of cascatelli.
Is it a
Yeah,
casket that you put your pasta sauce
So-
in?
No, it's
It's just so good it puts you in a casket.
it's Telly from Sesame Street in a casket.
Shaped pasta.
Shape pasta.
He even did the Italian thing with his
Cascatelli.
fingers.
The pasta bender.
I'm either gonna serve pasta or put this inside the plasma hole.
Plasma hole. That's a new one, a new euphemism.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm gonna remember that one. Let me see your plasma hole.
It's a
baby.
stuff. Where's the diarrhea?
Need more French fries.
I don't get paid till next week. I need some natural.
Michelle, all this is your fault. Next call is from Michelle.
Do you guys drink the milk in your cereal though?
That's right. You were. I was like, we lost the thread.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I finished it
Fucking
off.
love it.
I don't like
Mom used to buy bowls that had straws built into the bowls.
We have talked about this before. And who was it that said that they would just add milk for the sake of having more milk? Was it John? So one of us was saying that, like, I like it so much, the cereal milk, that I'll always just have way more milk than I should normally have.
I mean, I do that, but not with the intention. I like soggy cereal. I'll make it and then just let it sit there for a minute.
Yeah, I remember that about you.
I like putting a cup of milk in there. Put a cup. I also kind of like playing the game where
Like
it's
the measurement,
yeah,
1 cup of
one
milk.
cup of 2%
Are
milk.
you are you following the instructions on the cereal
2
box?
cups of
or is
cereal
this
per
a-
1 cup of milk, or do
No.
you want them
Is
one?
this a
1 and 1.
self-imposed ratio?
Self-imposed ratio, but I don't eat cereal a lot. But sometimes I also like
I don't anymore. I used
Me
to, but
neither.
I fell off it just for sugar wise.
I eat cereal in bites. By that, like Nikki's eating cereal, and I'm like, "Can I have a bite of that?" And she's like, "Yes." And I take a bite, and then that's like, "Oh, cool."
It's so
and I'm like,
weird.
"Did you add sugar to this? Gross."
It's so weird to me. I
Gotta warn me.
know that we're in the minority, but honest to God, if I walked up to Tanya while she was eating a bowl of cereal and said, "Can I get a bite of that?" she would look at me like I was a stranger. She would be like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Can I have a sip of that milk?
No, she would actually
Just pick your
give
bowl
me
up?
the bite of cereal, but she would be looking at me weird the entire time.
What are you gonna do with it?
Like if I asked for it. Now, if she said, "Oh my God, this cereal's delicious, you need to try a bite," that's not. I'll be like, "Okay, cool, I'll have a bite. I'll eat and drink after her."
Would you get? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, would you get your own spoon?
No,
or
no,
use a
I'm
spoon?
not. I've been inside her several times, so it's not. I'm not. I'm
At this
immune-
point, several times.
Yeah, a handful of times. I'm immune to that. I don't. She doesn't gross me out in that way.
Right.
Like I can eat and drink after her, no problem. Everyone else in the world can fuck right off. But she'll offer me a bite. But if I went up to her and said, "Can I get a bite of that?"
Try it.
It would be weird. It would be weird to her.
Yeah.
I want you to hide your phone somewhere and do that, and then post it on the
Yeah, that's a
Discord.
good idea.
I'm sorry, I can't record without consent.
In Kentucky, you can. It's a one-party recording state.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I live in the
Legally,
state.
she has no recourse.
I live in the state of Kentucky, but I live in a house with my wife. She wouldn't care. I might try that, but she doesn't eat cereal, so I don't know what I'm gonna do.
There you go. Yeah, I wouldn't do it with a
Just
lot
start
of
buying
things.
a lot of it. Just so much of it, she has no
She
choice.
will eat
What are
cereal.
we going to do with all this cereal?
let
I'm
me-
Cascatelli.
let me
I thought you were going to the store
Hey,
and bought 20
Cascatelli and
boxes
some
of cereal.
chowder. Some chowder. She does eat dry cereal, and in that case, it would be different if I said,
Let me put my fingers in there.
"Let me get my dirty old fingers up in your cereal."
Right.
What are the
bowl.
weirdest foods to ask for
Cereal
a bite of
plasma hole.
in general?
The weirdest what?
Yeah, what are the weirdest foods if you would look at someone the strangest if they asked for a bite?
Someone or your significant
Your significant
other?
other.
Okay.
For maximize weirdness.
Because I was about to say, pretty much
Maximum weirdness.
anybody other than Nikki, I'd be like, fuck you.
Is this a trick?
Yo, man, can I get a bite of that burrito? Do I know you?
Jello.
Yeah, Jill would be pretty
be
weird.
weird.
Yeah. Anything that's not already portioned out, like popcorn, okay, that's fine. If it already has if they're gonna take it and it's already not, if you're not breaking off a whole, it's less weird. But if you have to break off a piece of a whole, it's weird. It's weirder. Unless it's like spaghetti. It would be weird if I'm eating spaghetti. So it's like, give me some of that spaghetti.
It would depend on how the
Peanut brittle.
It would depend
brittle's weird?
on
Peanut
how
brittle's
how the food item
Because
was.
it's gross. Because like, who the fuck wants a bite of this?
Why do I have this?
And why do you want it?
It would depend on how the food is portioned out, though, for sure. Because
Peanut
like
brittle's gross.
if I said let me get a bite of that candy bar, and then I just took it and bit it in half. But if I said, she like took a piece of it and gave me that piece, that wouldn't be weird. But it would be weird for me to just like take a Three Musketeers bar and just go take a
you
bite.
go.
There you go.
What
or
about
a
a-
muffin or something? Like how is it being served?
Something that's hard.
You should try this muffin. Okay, grabs entire muffin,
Takes the top
takes
half.
the top half in one bite and puts the bottom back down on the plate.
A jawbreaker? One of those big jawbreakers?
Can I get a lick?
Yeah, let me take it out.
For anybody asking, this is also how Dave plays D&D. Take the non-obvious answer that makes the most sense. That is how Dave plays D&D.
Yeah.
I think it would be better
It's fun.
if I ask you for a bite of whatever you're eating the next time you bring something to eat here. Can you get a bite of that, man? I can't even pretend
close.
to do that.
We're close enough that I feel
I
like,
think you would probably be like, sure.
I mean,
But then I
don't-
think you could also you would be safe to say, you could look at me weird, because that would be weird if I did that. That would be out of character. That would be schmeeing.
it would be schmeeing. But it depends on what it is also, because I love you, but I don't want an indirect kiss,
Sure.
Direct only.
Direct only, please. It's kind of weird. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I think I'd rather kiss Ian than
Just
like
go to the source.
eat a churro after him. I feel like that's odd.
It is odd, but it makes a strange sort of sense, doesn't it? Let's try it. Let's try. Let's try
Taco
both.
John's closes in an hour. We gotta go now.
Churro
We
now.
better kiss first.
Then we gotta try both.
We only have an hour to kiss. Come on. Once it gets started, I can't stop.
I truly took that drink of coffee thinking that maybe I could make it through, and you got me.
Sorry.
No,
I didn't
that's what
realize
I
it was coffee.
That's
Jesus.
what I deserve. It's coffee. It's always coffee, Dave. The next call is from terrified Michelle and starts, "Hi, Dad. Paul, this is sorry. We're driving."
Okay, which one of us is Dad? Which one of us is Paul?
Yes.
Hi, TADPOG. This is.
Oh, it's Abby.
Sorry, we're driving. What? Wait, 1 second.
Should we?
Just
Yep.
wait. Okay. Sorry, I was just being a dick. This is Abby, Executive Bruiser Abby,
Hey, Executive
and
Bruiser.
we were discussing the the brawling game of Warner Brothers
Multiversus.
and how the fan base is toxic, and it just
Yeah.
I don't know what the game is called. You said it, but I forgot.
It's Multiversus. They can't hear me.
And it-
We need to find a door.
and it doesn't really matter
An
anyway.
unfound door.
It's a stupid game.
I don't think you're allowed to say that to gamers. You're the gamer, Abby. You should know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it was like the Rick and Morty fan base. We got on the subject with that, and she calls me a closet Rick and Morty fan because ever since that incident with the fucking Szechuan sauce weirdos like making a scene at McDonald's, it's just been like downhill for public perception of Rick and Morty fans, I guess.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say that it's only public perception. Rick and Morty fans have always been that way. But also, Rick and Morty fans and Multiversus, that shit crosses over now. They were one of the last, new characters to be added to that game. So, it's a strange Venn diagram. Szechuan sauce, Rick and Morty, Multiversus.
Think about it.
Yes. And I don't want to associate with them. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
You don't have to.
You shouldn't be
But the
sorry.
band fucking sucks.
Yes, they
don't
do.
They?
Sammy. Ian doesn't know what Steven Universe is.
Ian doesn't know what Steven Universe is. It's not good anymore. Apparently, that's what it is. In the later season.
I didn't know. Have you watched
Yeah. So instead of Rick and Morty, maybe instead of Rick and Morty, you can watch Owl House. You can watch My Little Ponies. You can watch that's
Talking about fan base, right?
But it's cute. She-Ra is a good show.
I've been wanting to watch
Like
She-Ra,
all of the
actually.
all of the gay stuff, all the gay time. Well, it still got like 30 seconds.
Not enough time.
Okay.
You did it wrong.
I did it wrong.
I was just trying.
Oh, and also I don't get the appeal of Pickle Rick. What the fuck is everyone so on about?
It's like Taz. It's like it's like Tweety
What
Bird.
about my
and
wife?
Oh yeah, it's like Tweety Bird and Taz and stuff. It's like that. Just some people latch onto it and ran with it and forever. But
I think it's fun to say.
Pickle Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But would you drink the juice that Pickle Rick's been soaking in? That's the big question.
No, because of sentience, right? Sentience.
He's definitely peed in that.
Yeah, maybe it's yeah. I don't want that. What if the pee
Okay,
tastes delicious? Does that
Might.
change it?
I'll never know because I ain't drinking the dirty motherfuckers. Right.
What about pig? What about dog? Sorry.
Dog may taste like pumpkin pie, but I'll never know. All right. What the fuck is everyone still on about?
Turned himself into a pickle. Yeah, so? I mean, like,
I can do that in my sleep.
I don't get why people are so excited about that. It's like a cartoon where he can do fucking anything. But, yeah, I guess Pickle Rick. Wow. I'm going to upset people, aren't I? All right,
I don't think so.
Nah.
bye.
No one that matters. It's fine.
True Rick and Morty fans don't listen to this show.
I mean, I
They're above it.
haven't watched Rick and Morty in a long time. I think it's on. Like the creator, I know did some shitty
Justin
stuff.
Roiland.
Yeah. So I
Some
mean,
Brendan Stippig creator shit. So
yeah, maybe I don't know. I think the Brendan Stimpy shit. I'm not gonna say what's worse and what's not, but I don't know if the Justin Roiland stuff involved like grooming and a minor and all that.
I think it did. I
Oh,
vaguely
fuck.
remember that. Yeah.
I thought
But I
he
mean-
just held his girlfriend hostage or something. So I thought it was like
Just a hostage situation.
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I like Rick and Morty. I've always thought it was a good show.
Yeah, it was funny.
I don't
what
make
I've
it my
seen of it.
personality, but it's a funny show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, I think a lot of the problem comes from when like people like absorb it as part
Yeah.
of themselves.
Yeah.
You know, I think that can make any like fandom toxic, or I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was joking about My Little Pony. I just assume that it has toxic fans too.
Oh,
It
yeah.
seems like anything that's big and
The
has
bronies, yeah.
a fandom
Bronies,
is
yeah.
toxic. Seems like it's fucking toxic. But then there are people who just like this stuff and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And don't like engage in a community.
Yep.
That's usually what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's you guys. You two are my Dark Tower community.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to meet the rest of them.
I don't go. They're probably cool.
They're fine, I'm sure. There's a couple on the Discord that know some stuff about it. So they're okay too.
Yeah, for sure. But they're kind of like one of us.
Within
it's not
TADPOG,
like they're not.
one of us.
Yeah.
Within TADPOG.
Yeah. They're not like the fandom at large.
Wild bunch.
The wild bunch. Yes. Yes.
So this next call is also from Abby.
Okay.
And it is now Abby's turn to explain Steven Universe to us.
Okay. I'm curious if Abby has seen Gumball. I like Gumball.
So I've only seen that like in passing dentist offices or something like that, but it looked good.
Yeah, I think that was the one that Henry and I enjoyed. I think it's a really weird cartoon.
What I've seen of it seems weird.
Like visually weird.
Yeah,
and I love that.
Yeah. All right, here it goes. Promise.
Oh, that's terrible.
All right. Okay, so Michelle wants me to explain Steven Universe because she said she already has.
Well,
And so she's gonna have to.
Is it weird that I can understand Michelle better when she's in the background than I can when she's actively talking?
it is odd, isn't it?
Am I the only one?
You're not.
Okay. Abby continues.
To shut the hell up while I describe it my way, because this is what she wanted. Okay, so Steven Universe is a cartoon show with this dumpy old fat kid, and he's got a star on his shirt, and his dad his name's Mr. Universe because he like went on tour with his crappy band or something and named himself that. And his dad works at a car wash and doesn't have any fucking money. And I'm describing it, baby. And so he doesn't have any money. He works at a car wash and lives out of his van. And his kid lives with these extraterrestrials that dance to have sex and are all women, so it's very lesbian. But apparently in the later seasons, they made too many of the characters like irredeemably horrible, I guess. Too many of the should be likable ones. That's all I know. But it's a cute show. I mean, like, sometimes it's got its like lows, and he eats just the discarded bits of fries as his primary food source.
Hopefully not Rowley's fries.
Okay, yeah, I think that's it, and gender representation is included, but not for the extraterrestrials. No, not for them. They're just all women. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I like that description a lot.
Yeah.
Better. Lives in a van down by the river. Eats scraps of French fries that people throw away.
Picks up David Spade.
About 8 more calls from this phone number.
Okay.
This one doesn't have a transcription.
Oh boy.
I don't know how she was going to try to convince you to watch that show after all of the things that she said about it.
I'm more convinced than I was hearing your description, Michelle. No offense.
I'm the same.
Yeah, I'm still not going to watch it.
I'm still not going to watch it,
but it was a more convincing argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, when she first started watching it, she was raving about it and made me watch it. And I liked it. I had no idea that the show went bad. I didn't know until today. And then I wanted her to explain it because she probably would remember it better. And then she did what she did, and she's laughing hysterically next to me because she likes to do this. I know when Abby is in a very good mood because she likes to be obnoxious.
gonna say obnoxious.
Yeah. So, that's what's happening, and that's good.
That's where we're at right now in our relationship.
It's a good place to be. It sounds like you're in a
My
great
wife is
place.
a butthead, and I love her, but she's a butthead.
Yeah.
Anyway. Anyway, so he doesn't eat the discarded fry bits. He goes to a place that sells whatever the leftover fries are at the bottom of a basket. They might give it
a bit. That's what he says, just a bit.
And he likes those, and I don't know why, but that's the only time they ever really show him eating something. I think maybe they showed him eating ice cream or a sandwich at one point. And
we would too. Just
they have the fusion dance, which I guess
The
is
Falusion
having
dance?
sex by dancing. But it makes them combine them, and obviously they're not accurate because it's like you combine a ruby and a sapphire, and you get
garnet.
a garnet, which scientifically is not accurate.
I'm pretty sure it is.
But yeah, and then they get bigger and look completely different.
Yeah, they get
That's
bigger
what I've heard.
And they get blacker, and
Yeah, so like they're kind of like Matryoshka dolls in a way. If you combine them, they get bigger.
They get inside each other over and over and over again.
I got SSS, and that's not for fuck's sake. Excuse me, that's facial feminization surgery.
Oh.
Yeah, so now she looks even cuter.
I know, right?
For a while, when her face was puffy, she did look a little bit like the doll on Squid Game.
10 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, that's 5 seconds.
I
not
just
10
wanted
seconds.
to say it.
Okay,
We
bye.
love you, bye.
Bye. First thing, I'm never gonna watch this fucking show.
No.
How did this happen?
Second thing, you have to call in together forever now. I don't ever want to hear from just one of you. In the future, you need to call it together all the time. It's delightful.
It's a fucking hoot.
It is it's a hoot. That is a really good way of describing it.
She
It is
sounds a
hoot.
lot. Michelle sounds, her accent and her way of
Her pitch
making
goes up
words.
when she's with Abby.
Yes,
She's
it does.
in love
Oh,
with her.
way
Yeah.
up there.
Mhm.
Her accent's very Southern California. She sounds a lot like my stepmom, who is from LA, and it's just funny to hear it. More high pitched than Cindy, but definitely the same accent. It's adorbs. I love it. Yeah, and you two have to call in every time it's just you, Michelle. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to just skip it. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, that's going to cut this episode real short, isn't it?
Yeah, it will. No, I wouldn't do that, Michelle. You know we love you. Here we go. September 16th, 2022, 12:19 p.m.
Lunch break.
Promise.
Okay, so I'm calling again to talk about Rick and Morty. I don't like Rick and Morty.
We got it.
Out. Morty is a complete asshole. And you always
Rick
is
is,
a complete
yeah.
asshole. Morty is a little shit, so honestly, it's not that far fetched. Okay. And Rick always has this drool. That's gross. What the fuck?
Some people like
And then
drool.
being
Just
a
gonna throw that out
pickle,
there.
What the hell?
Yeah,
And
Rick
why?
and Morty is like the shit posting of cartoons.
And then Morty, his lips, like half the time look like a vaginal lip, like the way they.
Some people like vaginal
Yeah,
lips.
believe you.
Just throw that out there.
Maybe
No, I have to learn
Plasma
these things.
lips.
Please, thank you.
I am gonna get a
If it do you.
vagina come
Do you, Kenneth?
November 30th.
So woo, so
Woo!
A neo-vagina.
Right.
It's like a vagina from the Matrix.
so labia.
Like Trinity?
Lips. Yeah. So
You flexing your Latin on me now.
I'm flexing my.
Just because I haven't studied up.
I thought you did.
Time to study Latin.
Come on, Doc
That's
Holiday.
Latin said language. I'm telling you my science knowledge, not my Latin knowledge.
Language, baby. It's not that. It's science.
Yeah, and we all have to translate it to figure out what the fuck they're talking about. Because science,
Exactly.
scientists are like, oh, I'm going to name this thing. And sometimes they name it like the longest word on the planet, and just to prove they're smart. And sometimes they actually
they name it Sonic.
Why they do.
That is their intention. I've heard they talk about it like that.
I feel like that's worse.
They do have a thing called Sonic Hedgehog, and they have another thing called Seven and Bride of Seven. And they're just pathways.
I haven't been drunk at 12:09 p.m. in a real long time. That's what I'm reminded of.
They got a thing called Sonic Hedgehog. Did you know this? Did you hear?
Since the Tadpog prom, I don't think I've been drunk at 12:09 p.m.
Surprisingly, the transcript doesn't clarify much. Science, they actually know how to. They do have a thing called Sonic Hedgehog, and they have another thing called Seven and Bride of Seven. And they're just pathways that get taken and open up to cause something else to start. So what are you saying? You think password? I'm trying to describe. Or you're born without a brain, and yet you still have to carry that fetus full time depending on what state you live in. Oh, God, I got political again.
Gotta feed
Sorry,
my chaps.
we're never going to kill yet ever.
So that call felt like when I zone out while listening to an audiobook and zone back in. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Sonic Hedgehog.
Sonic, right, that is.
That's what the fucking transcript says, and it's capitalized.
It do.
All right.
What? You what?
No.
What are you saying? You're saying pathways. Pathways can mean anything.
I'm trying to describe it, but you interrupted me. Pathways, it's to make one, it's that a cell or in the cellular process to have one thing. It's usually in actually starting with an embryo, and the different pathways lead to different things, and if it fucks up, then you're born without a rectum. That is what I mean.
Some people like to be born without a rectum.
Or you're born without arms. Or you're born without a brain, and yet you still have to carry that fetus to full term, depending on what state you live in. Oh, I got political again. Sorry.
Yeah, that was fast.
I mean, political is just like everything, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you.
We're never going to kill yet. Never.
Okay.
Please don't cut that silence out.
I'm not going to. I'm going to try not to. I tried to leave it long enough for where truncate silence wouldn't notice.
If it gets it, I want everybody to know we sat here in silence for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem like a lot, but count to 2 slowly.
Enjoy the silence. Okay. Here we go.
Is it a different
Hey
day?
guys, you're talking about Indiana Jones again. So you're talking about the
Yes,
game,
good.
although you haven't quite gotten to
Where's
the
Abby?
game talk yet.
Where's Abby?
I have to say that here's how my Star Wars favorite character.
This isn't how Abby calls.
It started out being Luke Skywalker as my
Where's
favorite
Abby?
character.
Remember
Sorry,
that
Ian.
thing you were saying about zoning out and then coming back and not knowing what the fuck was being talked about?
I do.
I think I'm starting to understand why.
Moved to Han Solo being my favorite character. Then it became Leia was my favorite character, and now it's kind of tied between Luke and Leia, the full circle, because I really like Luke in the latest episodes, but I also really like Leia. But mostly I really, really like Carrie Fisher. Like,
Same.
I get like was a little fucked up, but I don't know. There's just a lot. I've listened to watched one of her like specials that she had, and I was just like, oh my god, I love you. Don't ask me why. I just did. So, and I was a really big fan of the fact that they were all three coming back for the sequels, and really pissed off that a lot of people were like, ew, Carrie Fisher's gonna be back, and I'm not like, she's older. Her character has aged. What is your issue? She's not going to be in a gold bikini this time. And they were like, yeah, but she's gross. And I'm all like, God, you guys have issues. Sorry, you can't see me holding up my finger while I drink my drink.
I think I hear your blinker, though.
I did.
Get it
I
from
heard that
Archer,
too.
But Abby always reminds me that I do it just like Archer. I didn't know that he did it until Abby told me that. Indiana Jones. Listen, I know this is sacrilege, but my favorite one is The Crystal Skull. It's that first full-length Indiana Jones movie I actually saw. I saw, like, parts of all the other ones, like Tyler did. And then, like, a couple of years ago, I went back and made myself watch all of them. So Crystal Skull, and then for me, it's, like, Crystal Skull, and then The Last Crusade, and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then Temple of Doom.
I'm so
Temple
glad.
of Doom's kind of like not it for me. I know everybody loves it, but
No,
like,
they don't.
My
I do.
My friend Gretchen,
Which
she
one?
absolutely.
Temple of Doom.
I do too.
I feel like that's the one though.
I think that's the best one. I've always thought
Really?
that was the best one.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of fun, and it was more geared towards I think a little bit of a younger audience,
Yeah.
at least
I was the right age for
from
sure.
yeah, exactly. It was geared to our age at the time, and I don't personally have anything against Kingdom of the Crystal Skull either. I think it's fine. I actually like it.
Yeah, I honestly, a lot of the things that people gripe about, I don't love, but it doesn't break the movie
Yeah.
for me, except for there is like a plot thing that
The fridge.
oh no, not the fridge, but no, that's like I consider the fridge to be like a detail.
Yeah.
Like there's like a major plot thing in Crystal Skull where it's kind of like, I guess it fits the tone of the people involved in producing these movies,
Right.
but it doesn't necessarily have an Indiana Jones feel for me.
Well, my question for Michelle in this particular vein of conversation is, now that we are in 2024 and it is well past the time when any true Indiana Jones fan should have seen Dial of Destiny.
Yeah. I'm not a true fan. I haven't seen it.
I have. And Michelle, I'd like to know if you've seen Dial of Destiny and how you felt about it. I personally loved it. I thought it was exciting, a very good final chapter in the Jones trilogy, or Jones series now, I guess I should say.
Does Dave Grohl play the devil in that? Or?
Yeah. No, that's, yeah, they say Dial of Destiny in the title so that they don't infringe on the Tenacious D copyright.
I just think it'd be cool if they
But
got
they
him.
are. They are looking for the pick of destiny, actually. I do not need. Okay.
Really 100% agrees with you. The Temple of Doom is best.
It's not bad.
But I'm just like, no. Just no. He is, Harrison Ford is great in a lot of things. I do love some regarding Henry. That was a good movie. And there's some other movies that he's been in that I like.
Regarding
He just
Henry
also
is
has
good.
some movies where he plays some terrible, terrible people that are supposed to be the best people. Well, I've already discussed that, so I won't talk about that again. But you're not talking about Tom Holland, and I have to say I love Tom Holland a lot.
As you should. Oh, she got cut off.
She said that he played a lot of bad people.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford did,
Yeah.
but he did not shoot his wife, and he did not kill his wife in Fugitive.
Nope. It was the one-armed man.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Okay, so I didn't think I would love Tom Holland because I'm like, why is there a baby Spider-Man? I mean, I guess he actually looks like Spider-Man,
It's ageist.
whereas the
really
other
is.
two did not. But I really loved Andrew Garfield.
Same.
And so I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And I like watched part of the first Spider-Man, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. He's annoying me. And then I watched his lip sync battle with Zendaya, and I got on board with Tom Holland. And
If you haven't seen the lip sync battle that Tom Holland did with Zendaya,
I have not.
it's fucking funny as hell. It's super funny, and it's really good. He is a fucking nutball. That's a good. I'm glad she brought that up. For those of you who haven't seen it, you should.
I think he's a great Spider-Man, by the way.
I agree,
I mean,
100%. I think he's a fantastic Spider-Man.
I haven't really had a problem with any of Spider-Men,
No,
though.
I haven't either.
But he's
I
my
liked,
favorite.
I liked them all. I liked Andrew Garfield a whole bunch. Tobey Maguire, excellent. They've all been great. They were all great in the movie that they were in together.
Yeah.
As Spider-Man.
Yes, they were.
Three great tastes that taste great together.
That's right.
Neapolitan ice cream.
that like Singing in the Rain / Rihanna song where he was like fully on in a corset and like kind of dragged.
Yeah, Tom Holland fully dressed in drag, singing, lip sync battling with a Rihanna song. It's fucking funny as hell.
But not like drag over the top, but like drag, like you're just.
It's drag, Michelle.
And he was amazing.
I can't hear.
So amazing. Okay.
She's saying not quite
and
drag, but it's
so
drag.
I had to. So it was like, oh, all right. And then plus he was in Billy Elliot on stage, so it's like, oh, okay. And then I started watching some other things, and then when I've been going through lately and watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe in order, and but I wanted to see the Multiverse of Madness, and I felt like if I watched the Multiverse of Madness, I needed to watch the last Spider-Man, because like people were saying that it was necessary. Turns out, I mean, it's only kind of necessary, so I was like, all right, I gotta binge watch all 3 Spider-Man. Oh my god, those were amazing. I imagine I called you about this when Dave mentioned it, or maybe he mentioned it the first time. They were so good. They get better every one, and the third one was just so heart-wrenching.
Yes,
I was like, what? Like, Marvel, what are you doing to me? Like, I didn't cry, but I got very close. I was like, oh my god. And I was like, please tell me they're going to make a 4th one. I need a 4th one. So I came around to Tom Holland. And I just have to tell you that. Okay, bye guys. I love you.
Bye, love you.
Yeah.
We have 5 more calls from Michelle before we get to the next not Michelle call.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Okay, so now you're talking about characters being old and whatever, and maybe being too old, and Ian mentions Picard being 60. And I didn't really know how old Patrick Stewart was when he first started doing Star Trek The Next Generation.
14.
Because I was a kid and they didn't have IMDb. I didn't ask.
I knew.
Whatever. I think he was young, a lot younger than I thought he was.
Yeah.
And the only reason I thought he was
14.
older is because he has no hair, or barely hair, and
hadn't come in
he's
yet.
white. So it's like, well, you are just old men. This is obviously flawed logic. Now he's technically.
Can you pause it real quick?
Yes.
But I have to say,
So the other day, Jackson bed with Melissa and I, and Melissa's like, comb Mama's hair. So he gets a brush and he combs her hair. I say, comb Daddy's hair. He looks very confused for a second. He reaches around back and combs the back of my head.
That's a good boy.
Mm-hmm. I said, tell that.
I don't know if you guys ever heard about the Dune movie, the 80s one. And
I have actually seen that.
Yes.
Does it have a popcorn bucket? Does it have its own popcorn bucket?
Nope.
Not interested.
I like the Dune bucket. No popcorn, extra butter.
and the aging maximum thing, but like a lot of people who were in Dune have achieved aging maximum. Like, it's life, it has to be. Because, okay, think about it. Patrick Stewart looks a hell of a lot like he did in Dune. He looks amazing. He looks just great. He's Patrick Stewart, and he doesn't look old or ugly or wrinkly. He looks amazing. Same with Sting. Well, last I saw him as Sting, I actually.
So I really like in the new Dune that House Harkonnen, they're bald. I like that more than them being gingers in the 1980s movie.
They were very much gingers in the 80s. Have you seen the newest Dune movie?
I have not. Just clips and bits and pieces.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet either. John said he saw it. He went to the theater and saw it and said it was really good. So I believe that.
And I love the
one
first
was
book.
good.
I absolutely love Dune. I've never read the others because I picked it up and it already went weird. So I've only read the first one and loved the first one.
There's a bunch of them.
There's a fuck ton of them.
We were at the bookstore the other day, and they had a display of them out because the movie's out, so they're trying to capitalize on that. There's like 12 of these fucking things.
And Frank Herbert only writes just a few, and then his son takes over the rest, and it gets real fucking weird.
Oh.
Like super fucking weird.
Okay.
I think it's Frank Herbert.
Frank Herbert. Frank Herbert.
Hell yeah.
Herbie.
Same with, I don't remember the whole cast, but there's just like a bunch of people that were in the original Dune movie
Sting.
that my friends and I like to say have
Kyle
a teen
MacLachlan.
aging next to them. They reached an age, an old age look, and it's beautiful, and they haven't gone into the deep end. And I know a lot of people say that men age like fine wine, but there are some definitely.
It's weird. I haven't heard that. Huh, that's odd.
Yeah, I haven't heard that at all.
Huh.
And I'm aged. Wizened and aged. And I haven't been told that I've aged like fine wine, more like fine grape juice.
But yeah, and then Kyle MacLachlan, I felt like he didn't reach HD maximum because there were some definite images where I'm like, Kyle MacLachlan, what the hell happened to you? And I know I'm judging a person by this.
What
the
happened?
fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
He had this like weird, sickly kind of gross look. Maybe he was
Too much
sick, I don't
spice,
know.
Michelle.
But then I recently saw him and he let his hair go gray. I was like, oh God, look, he finally achieved aging maximum. Oh, you look so much better now. He should have just let his hair go gray. He's like a little fox. He looks amazing. And none of this is important, but I had to share it with you. This is my pal. And this is what we do. We have a very long distance conversation where the time travel is involved. In the sense that Stephen King says time travel is involved.
Oh, clearly she went through one of the man-made doors.
She went through one of the doors. That's right.
So was she saying that Picard? Like, what was she saying?
She was saying that
We
Patrick
translate-
Stewart is one of the that has always looked kind of old, but he's aged well. Like
Gotcha.
he looked a little old when he was young, but it wasn't that he looked bad. That he looked good, and he has continued to age well. And also, apparently, Kyle MacLachlan had done that, and then he let his hair go gray, and then she approved.
I don't think a lot of men are attractive until they age a little bit.
I think,
Hard,
I think
there's
that's
gonna be a hard stop.
attractive. Done. I think that's true. I find that to
like
be
Robert Downey Jr. Looking back at young Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he's very baby faced.
Yeah, like to a point it's just like holy shit.
Did you see him on the Oscars the other night? He looks really good. Like
I feel like but
post
around Iron Man,
Oppenheimer.
like get him,
Yeah.
age him up, and it's like good looking.
yeah,
dude.
Tony Stark, and then his character in Oppenheimer. You know even right now, just the way he looked at the awards, he won Best Actor for his role in Oppenheimer, and he looks really good.
He is the first ever SNL cast member to win an Oscar.
I didn't know he was an actual cast member.
One season.
Really?
One season.
Huh. Wait, David Spade didn't win an Oscar
I know, right?
for Tommy Boy?
He was in Joe Dirt, for God's
Come on.
sake. What the fuck?
He was probably. I'm sure it was close. He was nominated. I'm sure he was at least nominated.
Missed it by that much. I feel like Christopher Lloyd to me, because he seems like one of those people. It's always seemed like the same age. Like even in Taxi, where it's like I
Yeah.
have no idea how old this man is.
Yeah, that's
Like-
a good.
like,
That's a really good example.
Couldn't guess.
Yeah.
And then of course now he looks like he looked when he was in Back to the Future, or
With makeup.
With makeup.
Yeah.
Which
only
is
now he
fucking
looks like that.
confusing as shit. It really
It's-
fucks with me.
It's time travel.
Yeah.
I mean,
clearly.
he got in his DeLorean.
Gary Oldman's another one where it's like, because
Yeah.
when we were watching Dracula, I was thinking he kind of looks like the same, just like
Yes.
wearing different shit. you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. Yeah. It and the makeup they always do for him, it changes his look so much.
Yeah.
Because he has one of those good faces for costumes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, takes to a costume really well because it changes his appearance enough to be super noticeable.
Yeah.
For Johnny Depp.
Unlike Gordon Ramsay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
he doesn't look at all good in a costume.
The guy who plays Negan, I don't remember the name of the actor, but
Oh,
I remember seeing him young. Also not attractive at all until
Really?
he gets about knee and age. Then I think, oh, now he's a good looking dude.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. Okay. Next call.
Okay, it did cut off, but I was fine with it cutting off. But then I remembered I wanted to tell you something else because this is how I function. Okay, I'm sorry, I have ADD. I am medicated for my ADD, but this is how I function. Okay, and I just have to say, because I did mention Stephen King, and yesterday was Stephen King's birthday, that I have
Wait,
now
I thought he was.
read every
I thought he died, and after he wrote Hearts in Atlantis, of Atlanta. I don't know the name of that book. I just read today. I just heard today that he was able to finish the Dark Tower series.
I just finished the coda at the end of Song of Susanna.
Yeah.
And I will say that last week, I kind of went off on the whole Susanna being pregnant thing. What I found funny was that literally the next day I was listening to the coda at the end of Song of Susanna. And there's this part where he's part of the book is his Stephen King's journal. And he writes as he's going through his career, you get entries from the sort of the apex of his career when he was writing things like It and Pet Sematary, and he's making all these references to the different things that inspired him to write these books. It's kind of a neat
It is.
little thing.
I think it's cool.
But one of the things he says is he's coming up with the concept of Susanna and Detta, Odetta, Mia, and Susanna and all this. And he said, she is pregnant. And then he goes on to say, like, in the next line, he's like, I don't know how I feel about that because pregnancy as a rule is generally not the best way to thicken the plot of a story. In other words, he said exactly what I was complaining about. And it sort of bolsters the argument that the story is kind of coming through him.
I see. I didn't bring it up the other day when we were talking about that, but like that made an impact on me whenever I heard that about his writing style. Like I was like, shit, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
and I use that ethos in my DMing. So
I
if a
see
plot point,
a huge parallel between your DMing and his writing.
Yeah, because if I hit a plot point, I don't try to change it. Like
it's noticeable.
It came to me for a reason. Go with it.
I'm at the very beginning of the showdown at the Dixie Pig, and I'm already getting Piggy Palace vibes. I'm already getting your style, your DMing style vibes from that, and I can see that clearly. But so it's sort of it sort of bolsters what he says, that this sort of is coming through him. And I do, to the argument where we talked about the thing that we don't like authors to do.
Yep.
That he did.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm
It's
telling you, he has a way of fucking turning shit I fucking hate into shit where it's like,
it works.
Oh yeah, that's good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. This guy's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because this story is so ridiculously large and epic and meaningful and timeless to a certain extent.
It's like the
except
Will
for the
Ferrell
really
episodes of
dated
The Office.
shit.
You can just forget it. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It works.
It's still good.
It still works. Even though the way that he wove it in there, it's still hokey. And I still am not thrilled about it.
It feels masturbatory to me, which is what I don't like about it. Every time it's like,
it
oh,
is.
cool. I get to watch him jerk off. Sweet. Okay. Is he done yet? All right.
No.
Okay, cool.
Come on, Louis C.K. finish so we can move on.
Right. Yeah. But I'm glad you had that moment, because I had that moment as well yesterday, because on last week's episode, I was talking about Deus Ex Machina, and then literally when they're talking about, because a thing happens, I don't know, man. A thing happens.
I'm catching up.
And we're told that things are happening, that Deus Ex Machina is happening on purpose.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like they give you a reason beyond Ka.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's happening for a reason, and it's like, okay, all right. I mean, it's good.
You gotta hand it to the guy. You know,
But it
it's like, all right, you got me again, Steve.
Yep.
Anyway, Michelle, sounds like she's about to say something about Stephen King.
You're about caught up to where I am for sure.
I wish he would run for political office in Maine.
He'd win. He's so smart.
He'd win in a landslide, and he would turn that purple state blue.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. He is a treasure to them. That is, that is one of their huge claims to fame.
Oh, yeah.
That lobsters.
King.
That lobster.
That a chick.
The McLobster.
That a chunk.
Can I have a bite of that lobster?
No.
Can I have a bite of that crawfish? Found it.
Yep.
It's that one.
Can I suck on that head?
Yeah. Again?
No, that one. Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
That he has written that exists, that I know exists. From all the ones on his website.
She said that I paused at a bad spot. She said she has, as of this call, September 22nd, 2022, 8:04 p.m. She says she has now read everything that Stephen King has written.
Okay.
That she knows of.
It's a lot.
There's a lot. It's a whole lot.
It's a lot.
Everything. Like, I have a poster, a scratch off, and then at the bottom, I wrote in, like, the ones that came out after the poster was created, and then even the ones that weren't on the poster, like On Writing and Death Macabre, and Faithful. I had that one. That's about the 2004 World Series, whole Red Sox season, and which was surprisingly good. I don't care about sports. That was fascinating. He has another, like, couple of, like, nonfiction short stories that were about baseball, and I was like, oh my god, I'm bored about this. But that one was really good. And they had kept the journal the whole time, so him and some other baseball fan, this novelist, talking to each other, and, like, and they didn't know that the Red Sox were going to win the World Series. So it's kind of like you get excited with them, and then you also, like, you see that sports fans are really weird. I mean, I knew that because my dad yells at the TV, and to be honest, when the Dodgers were in the World Series in, like, 2003, I think, and they were winning, I yelled at the TV too. So, I mean, I get how you can get caught up in that, but they were, like, talking, like, so we need this guy and this guy in the lineup, and they should really do this, and it's like, are you going to, like, go down that? You don't own this team. I think Stephen King could own the team. I don't think he does. And I'm sure that novelist probably could too. They could probably do it so happy on it. They should do that. Anyway.
Lobstrosities.
They do that, and they're all talking about, like, yeah, we should have this and that, and I'm all like, you don't own the team, though. Are you going to go? I mean, I know you're not really good seats, and you can talk to the people all the time. Are you, like, emailing the coach saying you should put these people up? I'm sure the coach.
What is going on?
Don't tell me how to do my job. I don't know. But, yeah, fascinating. Anyway, so I've read them all.
Okay.
So, of course,
I'm back with you.
Now I have to read them all again. But right now I'm doing the extended Dark Tower reading list where you read, there's a recommended, different people do it different ways. So I read the Dark Tower first, the whole series. Now I'm going back on the journey.
Okay.
Topical once again.
Yeah.
She's gonna be really excited about our Dark Tower series. And then we won't hear about it until about a year afterwards.
We're working on it. We're chipping away at these calls.
We're within a year and a half.
Okay. That's good. When she was talking about Indiana Jones, I was surprised because that
feels recent.
It feels recent. It's not, but it feels recent.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Like
Okay,
scarily
you guys are talking about It and It Chapter 2. And everybody on the Stephen King subreddit agrees with Ian that It Chapter 2 is not good, except for me. I really did like it. I actually like It and It Chapter 2 better than the original It.
I'd like to clarify my thoughts on It Part 2.
The movie.
The movie.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I mean, I
didn't hate it either.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah,
I just don't think it was anywhere near as good as the first one.
I thought the first one. I prefer the first one.
Yeah. The first one was.
Yeah, they were both fine.
The first one was what I was hoping for. The second one was less than I had hoped for because the first one sort of set my sights high, my expectations way up there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that it was a bad movie. If
No.
I implied to anyone that it was, I don't mean to because I liked it. I just liked the first chapter better.
There is a part in Part 2 where the audience laughed at something that was supposed to be scary, and I will remember that every time I
Which
watch
part?
the movie. It's the part with the giant lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All
part
right.
with the giant lady. People laughed, and not like an isolated group. I mean, it was like it was enough laughter that I was sitting there while I watched the movie, and I was like, I bet they had notes on that they didn't take. This is not the first time someone's laughed in this scene.
Yeah.
But maybe they meant that to be a funny moment. Yeah, this movie's fucking scary. You know what we need? We gotta break the tension. How about we have a moment where like a giant lady moves real fast and people laugh? Wait, is she gonna look like a cartoon? You're fucking goddamn right. Okay.
How else would she look?
Practical effects, man. You gotta do it. You gotta do it, man. When fucking Dracula looks like a goddamn wolf fucking hunched over, that's fucking creepy, man. That's fucking creepy. That creeped me the fuck out.
It was creepy.
When a giant cartoon lady ran across the screen and people laughed, did not creep me out.
Miniseries, maybe because I saw them in reverse order. Don't know. I really, really, really like the guy that plays Pennywise. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of just
John
maybe because
Malkovich.
I had read the book very recently.
Tim
After
Curry.
watching that movie, I don't know. I just
That was a
know.
better joke.
So I loved it. And there's some parts. Now, let me get to tell you that there are some parts that were laughable because of how dumb they were. So, I mean, I'm not saying the quality was like stellar. I'm just saying I loved it because, like, that whole thing where Bev is at her old house
Yes.
and Pennywise is there, but it's a little old lady. And the fact that she's running around naked
Yeah.
and then she's gigantic, that was
Yeah.
hilarious. I know.
Thank you. Fucking thank you. Thank you.
Michelle, you have just proven that you are literally the biggest fan of this show because you are calling. Every call she has made tonight has been directly related to something that we have either been talking about recently.
I swear I didn't hear
since
that call.
way after this call was made.
I swear to God that whatever that
That's
means.
fucking hilarious. No, I know you haven't because it was still
Swear
marked
to
as
your
new.
God.
To your God, to yours specifically.
It was still unread when we got
The man
to it.
Jesus. I swear to the
man
man
Jesus.
Jesus.
God and the man Jesus. That's fucking good shit. This is good. You cannot make this stuff up. I'm getting alerted. There's a person.
Volume.
There's a person at my back door.
Oh shit.
Asking Tanya for cereal.
Can I get a bite?
of that
Yo, I don't mean any disrespect, but can I have a bite of that?
She would be less surprised if I just randomly texted her, "Can I get a bite of that cereal?" than if I actually asked her for a bite of her wet cereal.
That's
I say wet cereal because that would be the wet.
weird.
That moist cereal.
Give me some of that.
I see your cereal has been dampened. May I partake?
The lady.
My lady wife.
My lady wife, I do see that you are in possession of, dare I say, damp cereal.
That cereal is downright soaked.
We're doing good tonight, boys. Hang on.
I know it's supposed to be creepy, but I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, it's fucking
You guys
people
probably
laughed.
liked it because it was so bad it was good for me. I don't know. Okay, bye.
I love that you. I love. I cannot stress enough how happy it makes me that you just told us about that, and then she literally mentioned the exact same thing in her call.
It's people laughed, I loved it. I mean, I love that she mentioned it. I honestly think people are going to listen to this and be like, "That was planned."
It wasn't.
This was not a bit.
In no way was this a bit.
We're
It
not that funny.
absolutely did not happen as a joke.
That's fucking wild.
It's good shit. All right.
Yeah.
2 more Michelle calls.
Okay. So, yes, it's the Battle of Chud or whatever it is. And there's like a complex thing, and it also relates to the Dark Tower. And yes, he was on cocaine, so some of it doesn't make sense at all. But I'm like, whatever. Everybody has issues with the orgy. I mean, even when
As well we should.
when I was reading it, I was like,
These kids fucking.
but
Them boys gangbanging that girl.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be goddamn sure. Oh, yup. You say, oh, yup.
But I've come around to thinking, not that it was the best. I mean, number one, Copefield's book.
The story comes through me. Those kids
Two,
fuck.
I didn't write it. It happened. I seen it.
They gangbanged her in the floor of that goddamn cave. I seeked it. It came right through me.
I didn't want him to.
I didn't want it to happen.
I was saying, don't fuck that girl on that cave floor.
I just had to write it. What was I supposed to do? Leave it out? It wasn't me.
Part of me thinks it was a little bit of Pennywise doing, even though, like, he wasn't there and they were trying to bond to get better. Like,
Man, this is justification. You're trying.
Nope.
I mean, of
Those
course
kids just
Pennywise
fuck.
would do that.
They literally were told by the turtle that they had to fuck to bond. And then in the movie, they did it with a blood oath.
Right.
They did the blood brother thing, blood brothers plus sister thing. That was better than a fucking kid orgy in a fucking cave.
So brave.
Or
So brave. You
treehouse
said
I focus on the important issues here. The blood brother thing was better than the kid orgy.
How great would it have been if on the set
Hot
of the
take,
movie,
everybody.
how great would it have been if on the set of the movie, Stephen King says like, "That's not how I wrote it."
I'm gonna need all you boys to fuck her.
Author's note. At the very beginning.
Scene not approved by original author. Just flashing at the bottom of the screen.
Now you were talking about him running for office. I bet that fucking kid orgy's coming up. I bet you $500 that kid orgy's coming up.
Tell us, Mr. King, in the book It, did you or did you not write about a kid orgy?
We call that a main
It
quinceanera.
wasn't me. How many times? Like Stephen King's gonna sound like a fucking hillbilly. Like I'm Ross Perot in it again.
Can't finish.
Can't finish.
Horrible. And two, some people say it's Bev gaining her
Steven,
independence away
you
from
got
her
too many
dad.
kids fucking. 2 kids fuck as a treat. It's fine. Not a whole orgy.
I'd like to state that Tyler is not speaking for the show, TADPOG. These are his personal opinions.
Some Bernie Sanders opinions.
It wasn't me.
Who obviously is having issues of pedophilial thoughts because, yeah, there's just, that's heavily implied. Anyway, and so there's that. But then my theory is when kids have sex young, or at least my friends who have had sex really young, they
Did it to avoid a clown.
bonds them in a weird way.
That kid, that clown,
Told you there was a reason.
climb aboard. That fucking clown's coming. Get in. Get in.
That's what she told me.
Smash it. That clown will go away.
Okay.
Probably because their brain isn't fully developed and they don't understand, and so that they like think that because they've had sex, they are now going to be together forever. This is the bond they've created, and they're one day going to grow up and get married. And then when they break up, it's really damaging to them. So I kind of assume it was along those lines, but that's probably giving Stephen King too much credit, especially since he was on cocaine. I'm just saying. I'm defending the guy. I know he was on drugs, and you shouldn't defend him at this point, but I mean, I spent so much time hating him that I'm just like, I gotta make up for it. I gotta.
Wait, you shouldn't defend him because he was on drugs, or you shouldn't? I mean, look, I mean, everyone's gonna have their own opinion about it. Has anyone asked Stephen King, like in an interview, yo, what is up with the kid orgy? Like, I want to know what does he say when people ask?
I'm sure it's been covered.
Does he say, well, it was cocaine, or like, does he say the story comes through me? Like what does he say?
Maybe a little from column A, a little from column D. I would be shocked if it wasn't.
I don't remember writing any of that. I was super fucked up in the 80s. Would probably be
something like that.
Sorry, I don't remember that.
And then
I plead the fifth.
Then that is like, that just puts everything on the editor, right? Because like, well, I don't know. I mean, he wrote it.
Yeah, you should have seen the shit they cut.
Soft shoe out.
Maybe they won't notice. Listen to this fucking call.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, they didn't do the Blood Brother thing instead of the orgy. The Blood Brother thing is also in the book, and they just left out the orgy, as did the original miniseries, because it's just not something that people are okay with, and it's definitely good that they're not okay with it. I'm just saying. All right, bye.
So,
you're a pedophile. We'll get it.
Again. All right. That is all of the Terrified Michelle calls.
Okay.
We are at an hour 38.
Okay.
But we have 3 calls.
Okay.
3 local calls.
Some local yokels.
Some local are calling in.
All right.
And I'm going to play those.
Okay.
And we'll wrap.
All right.
Sounds good.
Great.
Because the next calls that come in, it's 4 calls.
Okay.
The next calls that come in is from Michelle after that.
Hello, TADPOG. This is Taryn. Hello. How are you?
Hi, Taryn.
I really miss the old motherfucking TADPOG message. The Google one is very boring. Hello. Yes, I am listening to one of your episodes. I'm not too far behind. I'm almost caught up. But I wanted to call in as your resident service industry person as well. I know you mentioned someone else that's also in the industry. I think Drew. But yes, I have worked in restaurants since I was 15. I was with Hooters for 10 years. I am now rounding into almost 5.5 with Landry's. I worked at our local Pizza Hole, Majestic. I don't think that's what it's called now. I think it's something totally different.
Popies.
But minus a couple of years where I stepped out of restaurants, my entire adult career has been in restaurants in the service industry. So I was just calling to talk to you guys because you're doing the right thing by tipping your to-go people. Now, in a post-COVID world, it might be a little bit different, but during COVID, absolutely a necessity to tip the to-go people because what we were doing is bringing in some of our elder servers or head servers and things like that. And they might have been making a little bit more an hour, but it was still like $7-8 because thank you, Kentucky, we're still at $2.13 an hour for a service or tipped position. And it's a lot of mumbo jumbo, but what it comes down to is taxes and what you claim as tips and yada, yada, yada. I don't have enough time to explain it on a 3-minute call. I think that's still the limit, but
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know at Hooters, there are some restaurants, and again, this totally varies by restaurant, that the sole job of the person doing the to-go is to do to-goes. And again, they might be making a little bit more an hour, but it is a tipped position. So, that's their livelihood. And short of cooking it, they're doing everything to prepare your to-go order. Even, I know during COVID, a lot of times bringing it to you. So yeah, keep tipping your people. The service industry's taken a huge hit post-COVID. And again, that's another way longer than 3-minute call of what we can get into. I mean, I work in a fine dining establishment and people still treat us like shit. I got a table shoved at me one night. A guy tried to spit on me, called me the COVID Nazi. This was during COVID. And again, I work in a white linen tablecloth fine dining steakhouse. So it doesn't matter the caliber of the restaurant. I mean, people are just terrible to the service industry, bottom line. Take care of your folks. I think I'm going to get cut off. I'll call you back. Kisses, bye.
Good call. Tip your people. But also, I feel like that the restaurants in question need to pay their employees more.
Yep.
I think the fact that they have to rely on tips is not my fault. It's the employer's fault.
Mm-hmm.
They should know better, and they should pay their people more and not
pushing off more to the customer than they should.
And the fact that $2.13 an hour is still the minimum wage, still as of today, the minimum wage for servers, tipped positions, I think that's ridiculous.
Yep.
Because you can't rely on tips unless you work your ass off. And restaurant owners, take note, you should pay your employees more. There is no question and there is no argument about it. I will die on this hill. Next call is from Taryn.
The Google blah. Bring back motherfucking TADPOG, please. Yeah, Taryn again. But yeah, take care of your people while you're out and about. Until there are more laws and regulations about raising the amount of hourly wage for the service industry and any tip position, really. I know California and places that have a little bit higher cost of living have raised that, but it's still not a livable wage. I mean, no one can live off $2.13 an hour. But again, longer conversation, longer story. It's been very weird for the service industry. People are realizing that they don't have to struggle and they don't have to deal with assholes that come in and out of bars, restaurants, whatever. There are other jobs with more structured hours, with less people interaction, with a structured pay. And I know that in my restaurant, again, and these kids are making bank. And I say kids because everyone I work with is 25 and younger.
I get that.
They're children. And I mean, they'll walk out of here on a Monday night and have $600-700. Forget about it during Derby, $1,000, $1,500, stuff like that. And
God,
even when I was with
I do
Hooters,
not miss working Derby.
a Titans game, I'd make $800 to $1,000 a game. A big concert night or something on a Thursday, Friday night, $500 or $600. But there were also days where I'd go in and work a 16-hour shift, open to close, double, and not make $200. So it's just, it's a life. It's a life you choose to lead, and I will probably die working in the service industry. So yeah, take care of your folks. It's been quite a struggle over the past 2 years. And if they're anything like me too, I mean, I am still fighting with the state of Kentucky about unemployment. Yes, we are now, well, we're not really post-pandemic, let's be honest. But I think we're at the end of it, or as the end as it's ever going to be. And they were still fighting with me in the state of Kentucky because I am an area sales manager and I dealt with multiple states, and they were trying to tell me that I wasn't eligible for Kentucky unemployment, even though I live, breathe, work, pay taxes in the bluegrass state. So that, again, another longer than 3-minute call. I ended up getting money, but it took a very long time, and I was in a better predicament than a lot of people with a significant other spouse that never stopped working. So, we were fine, but the service industry is really taking a hit, and it takes a toll on you. So take care of your folks, tip your bartenders, your servers, your staff, everyone you see working. Everyone's got a job in a restaurant, and they all
Oh. Okay. I hear the same stuff from Tanya, and she hasn't worked in that industry in a long time. But the stuff that Taryn says, it matches directly up with what Tanya was going through when she was still a server, 10 years ago.
Yep.
So that just speaks more volumes to the fact that it hasn't changed.
Yep.
And it doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon. So the struggle is real. And thank you, Taryn, for bringing that to our attention. I think we're probably good to stop.
Okay.
If you guys are.
Yep.
I think you'll get Jack.
Sounds like it's storming like a motherfucker outside.
Yep.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was a moment where I was like,
I heard the whoosh.
where's the train? And I was like, oh, that's probably a big fucking storm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we can go ahead and wrap. And then next week, we're talking about, I asked John, he said he will be here for the Hunt for Red October.
Hey, awesome. Okay, so
next
Red,
week. So we
Red
can do the Hunt
October
for Red October next time.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Look forward to seeing John. That'd be cool.
Me too, and I just saw him.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening,
Where is
everybody. across. He's his keeper at work. Where's John? Ask Ian.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, not Stitcher, but on Spotify and YouTube and all over the goddamn place. We got all sorts of stuff going on, but most importantly, there is that Patreon.
Yes, we do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/tadpog or pisstasters.com if you prefer.
Taste the piss.
And you can donate money there. As little as $1. You'll have access to all of our bonus content that we've put out over the years and everything to come. If you will allow us a little bit of time, we're planning some stuff. I promise. But we do have a list of executive producers that donate $20 or more per month to the show. And I'd like to read that list right now, starting with Usurper Grimm, Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Enthusiast Jeff Miners, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Louisville correspondent, fellow service industry worker, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock Flavored Trick, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage, Pinball Airplane Archmage Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Drink Smith Joey Webster, and Derek Pope Sandwich. Thank you guys so much for your generosity and your continued patronage of our show. And also additional thanks, as always, go out to Dane for putting our show up on YouTube every week.
Our theme song is Move, so we're driving with that track from the shows.com. And you guys want to close it out? Pennywise?
Sure.
Yeah.
So until next time.
Tropical Capricorn, Georgie.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and is available wherever fine podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. We'll even play it on the show and respond eventually. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. Sick of us doing all the talking? You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/TADPOG Discord or tastethepiss.com. Not many things are truly free these days, but our Discord is, and we'd love to see you there. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive, and a link to that track can be found at the show notes at tadpog.com. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcasting platform. We'd really appreciate it.
And now, a dramatic reading. Well, I just heard the news today. It seems my life is gonna change. I closed my eyes and began to pray. Then tears of joy streamed down my face. With arms wide open under the sunlight. Welcome to this place. I'll show you everything. With arms wide open. With arms wide open. Well, I don't know if I'm ready to be the man I have to be. I'll take a breath. I'll take her by my side and stand in awe we've created life. With arms wide open under the sunlight. Welcome to this place. I'll show you everything with arms wide open. Now everything has changed. I'll show you love. I'll show you everything with arms wide open. With arms wide open. I'll show you everything. Ah, yeah. With arms wide open. Wide open.
Believe it!